This is the complete Star Ocean timeline, covering the numbered adventures, Star Ocean Blue Sphere, and the original campaign of Star Ocean Anamnesis. Because the games were released out of chronological order, the story does not begin with humanity or even with Earth. It begins billions of years earlier, with an empire whose abandoned weapons will one day threaten the entire universe. The final part of this timeline will reveal what that universe truly is, but revealing that answer now would weaken everything leading towards it. So our history begins with the oldest, clearly documented galactic power inside the known universe. That civilization was Nede. Fun fact, Nede is simply Eden spelled backward, a fitting reference to the planet's history as a seemingly paradise-like utopia. Roughly 3.7 billion years before the crisis on Expel, Nede was not the enclosed artificial world later known as Energy Nede. It was the center of an interstellar empire. The Nedians treated symbology as a science. They could manipulate energy through symbols, create artificial environments, alter living organisms, and construct weapons powerful enough to threaten entire worlds. Their achievements were extraordinary. So was their arrogance. Nede controlled many other planets, and rebellion eventually spread across 24 of them. The oldest clearly documented galactic war in Star Ocean was therefore not humanity fighting an alien invasion. It was an uprising against a civilization that believed superior knowledge gave it the right to rule everyone else. To crush that rebellion, the Nedian researcher Lantis began the 10 Wise Men Project. The 10 Wise Men were not ancient gods. They were Nedian biological weapons given human form, each designed for a different role in suppressing resistance. Then, the project became something even worse. Rebels opposing the program killed Lantis' daughter, Philia. The Nedian authorities concealed her death until his work was complete. When Lantis finally learned the truth, grief and rage consumed him. He transferred his consciousness into Gabriel, the strongest of the 10, and changed their purpose from ending the rebellion to destroying all life. The weapons turned against their creators. Nedian forces eventually pushed them back to the laboratory. Lantis and the other 9 wise men were sealed inside an eternity space pocket that could only be opened by entering a password from outside. But the damage had already been catastrophic. The 10 wise men destroyed around 80% of Nede's military, while the rebellion on the outlying planets closed in. The survivors abandoned their empire and constructed Energy Nede as an isolated refuge. They moved their remaining population inside it, surrounded it with an enormous defensive field, withdrew from the galaxy and destroyed the original planet Nede behind them. Their empire vanished from history. Their weapons did not. From the perspective of the outside universe, the 10 wise men remained sealed for billions of years. The games never reveal who eventually entered the password that released them. That remains one of the series' greatest unanswered questions. Nede is the clearest ancient civilization in Star Ocean, but it is not the only trace of a forgotten past. On Earth, a technologically advanced people known as the Muah once lived on the lost continent of Muah. Around 1,000 years before the Common Era, a meteorite opened a wormhole that scattered the Muah across several planets, including Roke, Fargate, and Edifice. On Roke, the displaced Muah encountered an older people called the Runes. By combining advanced technology with symbology, they created the Eye of Truth and attempted to open a path back to Earth. Instead, they opened a gateway to the demon world. On Edifice, another group of Muah created a supercomputer called Mother Edifice. Its purpose was to reset civilization through destruction whenever technological development appeared likely to lead humanity towards catastrophe. These ancient connections matter because Star Ocean is filled with worlds built over the remains of earlier societies. Ruins become temples, machines become legends. Technology becomes magic when nobody remembers the science behind it. The galaxy was already ancient when humanity entered it. Humanity's own journey to the stars did not begin with confidence. It began with the destruction of Earth. In the year 2064, the Third World War devastates the planet. Weapons of mass destruction destroy much of the population and leave the surface irradiated and increasingly uninhabitable. The survivors retreat underground. In 2065, the remaining nations form the Greater United Nations, and the Universal Science and Technology Administration begins searching for a future beyond Earth. Space exploration is not yet a dream of discovery. It is an escape plan. Humanity secretly makes first contact with the Eldarians in 2074. The Eldarians possess knowledge far beyond Earth's, but the public is not told that alien life has been found. In 2087, the scientist Trillis Bakhtin makes practical subspace travel possible. Stephen Kenny becomes the first human to travel faster than light. 4 years after that breakthrough, the space date calendar is formally established. By space date 10, humanity is ready to send its first major crewed reconnaissance expedition beyond the solar system. Edge Maverick and Remy Sayonji travel aboard the Calnus under Captain Grafton. After the expedition crashes on Eos, Grafton places Edge in command and sends him deeper into space. The mission works alongside the Eldarians, the technologically advanced Morphus, and several civilizations whose worlds are being transformed by mysterious objects called Grigori. The Grigori accelerate and corrupt evolution. Plants, animals, and entire populations mutate around them, while affected worlds are drawn into a disaster centered on Nox Obscurus. Behind them is the missing procedure, an intelligence from outside the known universe that treats living worlds as material for forced development. The danger is not evolution itself, it is evolution imposed without consent. The cost becomes personal for Edge's Eldarian companion, Phase. After the Grigori destroy the Eldarian settlement on Ios, grief and despair leave him vulnerable to the missing procedure. He becomes the Apostle of Creation, the final guardian of Nox Obscurus. Saving the universe means fighting someone who began the journey as a friend. But the event that most directly shapes humanity's future happens on another Earth. The Calnus reaches an alternate version of the planet in 1957. Edge allows a human organization led by Mila Bakhtin to use the ship's energy source, believing advanced technology might help them. Instead, that power feeds a dangerous experiment and destroys the entire planet. Edge does not merely witness a possible disaster, his decision helps cause it. By the end of the journey, humanity has allies among the stars and proof that contact can save lives. It also has proof that advanced knowledge, introduced without restraint, can erase a civilization before it understands the consequences. Edge rejects the idea that humanity should distribute its technology freely across the galaxy. The surviving Eldarians make a similar choice on Lemurus, giving up much of their advanced technology so the planet's societies can develop without being ruled by it. In Space Date 12, Earth establishes the Terran Alliance and adopts the Underdeveloped Planet Preservation Pact. The rule is usually shortened to UP3. It restricts advanced civilizations from revealing or imposing their technology on planets that have not reached interstellar travel. Over the following centuries, the Terran Alliance expands and becomes known as the Earth Federation. In Space Date 360, it takes the name Pangalactic Federation. The series strongly presents UP3 as humanity's answer to both the alternate Earth and its own history of war. That connection is thematic rather than a single legal explanation stated in one scene. But the lesson is clear. Reaching the stars does not give anyone the right to decide how another world must develop. The law can limit power. It cannot make every moral choice for the people enforcing it. That problem becomes the heart of the next era. 3 centuries after humanity's first expedition, officers from Earth discover an underdeveloped world being destroyed by a biological attack. Saving it will require them to violate the very principle designed to protect it. And the cure lies 300 years in the past. Part 2 follows Roddick's first departure, Claude and Rena's encounter with the returning Nedian Empire, and the final battle against the 10 Wise Men. Like the video and subscribe so you do not miss Part 2 when it is released, along with more Star Ocean and other similar videos.